think
Good
think
morning.
also po for the yeah,
Also for what?
good morning. For
Morning.
I think for the change of status.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, you do 140 and the change of status. That's the one that you want. You don't want the other, you don't want those E3, whatever, those EB3 that you said earlier, because it should just be 140 and then the change of status. But I'm gonna ask John for you, my brother-in-law, Mike, and see what he says.
Thank you
Okay.
po.
But as far as I know, I don't think you need a lawyer, really, because lawyer is gonna be per person. The cheapest I found on lawyers is 3,000. So that could ask up to 5,000-6,000 per person. So for your family, Mike, they're gonna want 24,000. So that I don't think you would want to do that.
Yes po.
So, but anyway, so just wondering. All right, I want to mention. I want to welcome Myrna and Memardita Jimenez.
Good
I'm
afternoon.
sorry we were
Good evening,
late.
Doc. Good evening, Doc.
Hey, did you just get the reminder, or were you trying it earlier and then did not get through?
I was actually in the kitchen and then I was trying to open it in my mobile phone, but unfortunately it didn't work. So I had no choice but to open my laptop.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on. I was running late as well, but so Mike was actually here before me. And Mama Dita was what's your nickname? Do you go with Mama Dita or do you just go with a shorter one? Mama Dita Jimenez. Can we hear her? No. Hey Myrna, where are you in your process? Have you applied in many schools yet?
None yet, none yet. Actually, I'm just waiting for my transcript of records for my master's degree and for my academic records for my doctoral.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, I didn't get it yet because I didn't have any plan of leaving this area until until until
Well, I mean, what made you change your mind?
I've been receiving invitations from my former colleagues, from my former vice principal back in the Philippines. They are now in others are in Arizona, others are in New York, others are in Texas. So they keep reminding me when else are you going to apply? Then when I saw Mike, and then I said, okay, maybe this is a sign.
Yeah. Well, I hope that you do apply. I'm putting you here a link to a school that's needing a lot of teachers right now. I'm meeting with the superintendent Tuesday. So in 3 days, I'm meeting with the superintendent of this because they're really serious about hiring people. Hey, Mike, do you mind clicking on that link, Mike, and share with us? Because
I actually had a chat. I had a chat with my friend who's just now in Texas. She's been there for more than 3 decades now.
Oh, okay.
Said, yeah, really, we are in need of teachers here. If you want, if you really are serious, just start applying. And then told her, yeah, really, I was just thinking of maybe, yeah, my husband and I really are planning to apply. I think my husband already forwarded his email to his CV to you and I mean to Mike.
Yes po. Yes po, Doc. I also send that
I think that sounds
the
familiar to
principal
me.
here.
Yes.
Yes po.
Yes, that's the one that you received before, Doc.
Yeah. That is it. Nickname is Did It. That's what I'm familiar with. So I didn't know if it's the same person.
Yeah, that's my husband. That's my husband.
Got it. Okay. So that's good that the two of you are applying then. This is West Memphis. West Memphis is about, what is it to you, Mike? About an hour and a half, possibly?
Yes po. An
Yeah.
hour and a half.
And then about an hour from Brinkley. And so that he's gonna open up the link where you have their website. Let's go see. Okay, it looks like they need 2 administrators. What was that? Athletic Okay, you don't want that one. Elementary need 2. High school teachers need about what was that 28? And in junior
High
high,
school teachers, 29 po. Can you see my screen
29.
po, Doc?
Yeah, but I don't have my glasses. That's why it's blurry. It's a high school.
Actually, for me, for my husband and I, it's fine if we work for the elementary. It's fine. No worries about that.
Yeah,
It's okay.
the elementary.
It's fine.
elementary
Whichever
only
is
need 2.
available, whichever needs.
Yeah, it looks like high school is the need because there's only needing they're only needing 2 elementary school teachers. They need 29 high school. That's a senior high,
Ito,
and the
ma'am,
junior high is 23.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're hiring, they're looking for 10 science teacher. I'll
Mm-hmm.
check in here. Yeah, junior, middle level science.
The date it was posted was 2021, and closing date is also July 2021.
I think that was just a problem with them with dates changing, but that's their openings now.
Yeah, that's hoping. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's their openings now.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll be able to get my records, and my husband's records are ready for that.
But you don't have to worry about getting your record. All they need right now is your resume and your cover letter.
Yeah, yes.
They're
yes.
gonna need that paperwork later whenever like they wanna get you to be interviewed.
Yes.
But you don't have to wait for that. Just send
What
it.
about for validation, Doc? For
They don't need-
validation of
They don't need it
credentials.
right now. The HR just needs your resume
Oh,
and cover
okay.
letter.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all you need right now. And then later they may ask for additional paperwork, but right now you just
So-
need to get your names out there.
So my husband is a step away from me.
Okay, what areas were you?
I am into science. I teach physics. I also teach earth science, and I am into research as well.
Okay, well, so it looks like 10 people are needing in that area.
Different areas.
Okay, so what is your husband's area?
My husband is also a graduate of physics for his master's, but he is more into technology. He is actually the coach of robotics here in Qatar.
Okay, that goes with your science teacher usually, or yeah, usually they assign that with the science teacher. Is that right, Mike? Because Dina is science, right, in your school? The
Yes po,
robotics.
Doc.
Yeah.
Yes po. Actually,
robotics.
Doc, I said, I mentioned that to Mr. Roach
Mm-hmm.
because remember I left the position there.
Yes,
Yeah,
technology.
the computer science teacher, and then he is asking me if Sir Joel is here in the USA. I told him, oh, unfortunately
Still
he's
here.
not.
Not yet.
Yeah, and then he told me that okay, if I'll give you an update about that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And to be honest, Doc, maybe, yeah, I would be very honest to you. I'm also thinking if ever God's willing, we will be hard. I want that my son will travel with us because
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't want him to be left alone.
Yeah, you can do that whenever you have your visa sponsored, then they're gonna ask you if you you have family, your J2, that will be your J2 folks, if you're J1. And then if you're H1B, which I really would like to encourage this school to do
Yeah.
H1B. That's what I meet with him Tuesday. I'm gonna see if I look like I have shade. I'm gonna encourage him to do H1B because
okay.
the paperwork is not any harder. Yeah, but then you are gonna be here for a green card. So that's why I'm gonna encourage him. I already gave him information for both, and the difference in the money part of it is not that much. And it just be a matter of being responsible for the teachers, but the advantage is that you're gonna be with them, because the
Yes.
green card is I think the H1B is in 6 years you get your green card.
Okay, inshallah. Inshallah. Oh, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So within
Actually,
6
I have my CV ready with me with a cover letter. I'm just trying to edit some parts of it.
Yeah. So go to this one, to this link that I gave you. I think when I send another email, when you get done, I'm gonna put this in because in 3 days are so in need of it. The HR person is actually gonna be introduced to me. And so I'm gonna be working with their HR person to see what we can do to get people hired faster.
So in that case, I need to have my CV. So I mean, hand it on to Mike ASAP.
No, don't send it to Mike. Send it to this link.
Ah, to this link. Okay.
Yes, send it to this link. Yeah, just follow directions. There it says there, apply online, and that's what you need to just do. Follow directions from that.
I don't see it though. Where's the link?
It's in the chat. Look in our chat. I put the School Spring and I put the Apply track for West Memphis.
I don't have, because I just got it. I don't have it, Doc. Sorry.
Can you open the chat? Mike, do you mind sending her the link of this via
Yes,
email?
Doc.
Yeah, because yeah, because once you get this, you hit it, and then you can actually apply online directly from this link.
Okay, thank you, Doc.
Yeah.
Thank you for that big help.
Yeah, good luck. I hope you do. I hope you do get a job. I'm gonna be bringing with me the folders. I mean, I'm gonna be sharing with them the folders with all your stuff. So if you're on my list already, then I'm gonna point out the folks I'm familiar with, the ones that have attended here. That's the one that I will recommend because that's the one I know. But the others are in my list, but they have not attended much or any. So I would not be comfortable really pushing for them.
Recommending them,
I don't
yeah.
know them.
I do understand. I do understand. But is it okay if I'm just showing my face? My husband doesn't show his face now. He just came to pick up his our son.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what the first thing they're gonna see is like, Marlena, who are the people that you're gonna, recommend? So they're gonna want to listen to that. And that's a lot of people they need though. That's about 50 people that they need, more than 50 people. And it's already October, nearly the end of October, and they still need that many people. So they're desperate for more help. That's a lot of substitute. If you have to
Actually, my friend, she told me you really need to apply ASAP. You start while they are so generous in giving visa.
Yeah, this one will be generous because they're really, desperate to have people. And so Tuesday afternoon about 1 p.m. is my appointment with the HR and the superintendent of the school. So, so those that have applied, we will be looking at those. So, so make sure that you do apply if you haven't yet. Yeah,
Okay.
apply in there. Science teachers. What other area were they needing, Mike? They needed do you mind showing it to us again? I don't remember. I just remember science to be 10 of them. How many math, social studies? Maverick is here. Okay, there Maverick was showing you the West Memphis school districts opening here. They have, hang on, Mike is gonna open under.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening. I think you have to, did it go to, yeah, there it is. There's art, 3 of them, ELA 2, math 7, PE 3, science 10, social studies 6, and other is 2. And then the junior high, they just put all vacancies. So anyway, so that is a lot of people they need. So I hope that you all apply for that and hopefully get interviewed soon and then be here. Yeah, for the there's some of that. This is that. So is this the that's the high school drama, English, reading, family, consumer science, math. Okay. So there's physics, biology,
Yes, po. Biology, general science, physical science, physics. And for elementary, only have 2. Mostly po is junior high school.
Yeah. So that's a lot. That's a lot of the folks. If you're gonna end up with you know, with a bunch of Filipinos to fill this out, then you're gonna have a lot of, you know, neighbors or people that could be living next to you. So yeah, here's that word apply there on the top right. Yeah, you just hit apply. So if you hit apply on one of those, Mike, what happens? If you hit that apply, that red apply, what happens?
Yeah, they need to create their login.
Oh, really?
Yes po. Ito po, can you see my screen po?
No, I mean, we can see your screen, but not the second screen that you're opening. We see the West
Okay
Memphis
po.
one.
Doc, would you mind if I close my camera for a while?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Ito po, Doc.
Okay, so yeah, you have to do so you have the
Start po.
yeah. In order to
Yeah.
start, you have to do a login thing. Okay. I
Yes
want to
po.
know that paperwork that they need. Do they need any paperwork now? If you do that,
It depends, I think po, pag I'm going to sign in here.
I wonder if what they would want whenever you do this.
Yes, ma'am. They are going to need attachments.
Oh, do they? Do they
Yes,
need it?
ma'am.
Okay. So attachment then just put in what you you need to attach, and I usually would put like cover letter, I mean like a summary page of my attachments. And for the Jimenez try to just put on your cover letter on your summary of your attachment, just put down there that
Ito po, Doc, marami.
okay, yeah.
Current employment, yeah, postal address, vacancy desire, student teaching, the experiences, they need to fill out education,
yeah,
certification.
okay. And then of course your referral. What's under additional information on number 15 or 19? Is that 19? Yeah. Yeah, what's that one?
Why nothing shows here po? It's always, I think I need to complete first for the information.
Well, I think that might be like if you have more than 3 people, you can put it there. And then what's the very last one under the last 2 requirements? It
doesn't proceed po unless you do it. I completed all the information.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, well, it seems to take forever, but it will be pretty fast because you just put the information inside in it. So it's not too hard.
Yes, po.
Yeah. So anyway, but once you have made that account, anytime that you apply in any other school, then that same account would work for ApplyTrack, because most schools in the US are actually using that app, that ApplyTrack app, and that's where they put all their openings, especially the big schools. And West Memphis is one of our bigger schools here. If you Google them, they really do not have a very good reputation, but I think that was from older days. I think it's better now. And I asked the superintendent in our last meeting, because I've met with him twice already, that about the housing, and he said, "Oh, there's a lot of housing here. We can help them, find." And then it should be okay. I think, especially if there's a lot of you, like in 45 minutes from me, there's a place here that hired like a 30 plus Filipino nurses. And what they did was they actually just got the whole apartment. All of them are Filipinos. So that could happen to you guys. And sure, there's 50 plus people. We could find a place where you all will be in one spot. And I think that would be really nice. And especially if it's close to the school. When I was there, I was driving there, I was looking around to see you know, the possible places to stay, and there were a lot of apartments close by the school. So so I think especially for those that are not driving, you know, when you first get here, I think being walking distance to the school, or because this is big, they have buses on this one, so that you can actually ride in buses in order to go to wherever you need to go. So, and this is only an hour from everybody else, an hour and a half from the 30 plus Filipinos that are already in the area. So you have an automatic Filipino community here for this particular one in West Memphis. So Giselle, I see Giselle on, and Joanne, are you gonna apply on this one? I put the link on the in the chat here. I hope you do apply, because I'm meeting, you know, if you were here earlier, I said I'm meeting with the superintendent and the HR person on Tuesday at 1 p.m. So that would be I guess that would be about 2 o'clock on Wednesday for you in the morning. But yeah, that's what I'm about to do. And so I don't know what kind of questions they're gonna ask me. I just know that on our last meeting, he was needing information about J1 visa versus H1B. And there I sent him a lot of paperwork, but then I sent him a letter, a little note from me that says I would really highly recommend you to do H1B, because you can keep your teachers that way. You won't be having these teachers in and out of your school. You need to be H1B so that they will stay with you, because the school will be the only sponsor. You know, with H1B, the advantage with you guys is that they will shoulder all of the expenses. Anything that's under H1B, right, Mike? Because Mike is in H1B. Yeah, they have to pay for everything on the H1B. And with J1 visa, you have sometimes it's all the teachers will be doing it, or the whole sponsor will be doing it, or it's a mix, could be half. But most of the time on J1, you really end up spending for it. But in H1B, the employers have to pay for it, for the visa. That's just in the rule that you have to. So it's really, to me, it's really an advantage both in the fees for you, for your expenses, guys, plus also the permanence of it. You know, the H1B visa, you could be approved for 6 years, in up to 6 years, and then within that you should be able to get your green card. So that's what Mike is trying to do now. Is he's in H1B, and this is your second year, Mike, and he's already gonna meet with the superintendent to see if they would help with applying for the green card. So once they get the green card, then his wife can work. Is that right, Mike? That's the next step.
Yes, po, Doc. Yes,
Yeah.
po.
Yeah. So any question on this? Like who's interested in applying? Because I'm curious. Joanne, would you be interested in applying?
I actually was not able to get the first-hand information about it. Sorry.
Okay.
I only knew about meeting on Wednesday at 2 a.m.
Yeah, I'm meeting with the superintendent and the HR person. So those folks that are already applied will be looking at your paperwork, guys. So they'll be asking me, do you know this person? Do you know this person? And so on. So I will be sending them my list as well. So we'll kind of, I'll give them more information about it. And if I have met with you, like I've met with you guys many times, I will be able to tell some extra things about you. Giselle's here every time, Joanne and Maverick, you have been here so many times. And Myrna, is this your first time here? Myrna, is this your first time of attending?
No, I've been attending even before.
Okay. But anyway, I just haven't, I don't remember talking to you for a long time, I guess.
I think, we were, we had a chance to talk to you. I was actually with my husband. I was in a rush that time.
Oh, okay. Okay, it's been a long time. I've slept since then, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope you do apply. I know it seems like a tedious work, but that's not gonna be like that all the time. If it's your first time of using ApplyTrack, it will seem to be a lot. But the nice thing about it is once you've done the ApplyTrack, that will save the information, and next time you apply in any other school under schoolspring.com, then you will be able to just use that information, the same login and same password, and you don't have to re-enter all those information again. So that's the most tedious part of it, is the first time you go in during using ApplyTrack. But for those that had been applying in many places using ApplyTrack, you should not have any issues. It should be pretty quick for you. So so yeah, that's what I'm really trying to push, is that, because I told them, I said, well, I will try to, you know, remind the teachers to apply. So I don't know how many they have, you know, because I've not met with the HR. The HR would know those numbers. So I do not know what she will show me whenever I meet her or meet with her or him on, I think it's her, on Tuesday. So we'll see what she says, if she has any questions for me. And I don't think they have ever sponsored anybody. I think this is the very first time. That's why the superintendent, Dr. Brown, is really really interested in the process. Like, how does it work? What are the things that we need? He's very, in his school, he is very interested in hiring different teachers from different countries. She's not just doing Filipinos. He might be interested in other, you know, from different continents. And so I said, well, I can help you with Filipinos, but I have a few from other countries, but they're not attending Zooms like, you know, I wish they would. So I will really get to know them. I know I have some, like, I remember Elizabeth from Thailand. I talked to her aunt, and she's in Thailand. I remember her. But then we have a few of our folks too that are in another country, you know, from Indonesia to Thailand, Vietnam, you know, Qatar. How do you say that? Qatar. How do you say that, Mike? Qatar or Qatar? Okay. How do you say that country?
It's Qatar.
Qatar? Okay.
It's Qatar.
Qatar? Yeah. Well, I think we put a different accent in the US and the Philippines, because when you hear the news now, how do you say that? Qatar. They say
Qatar.
Qatar. Yeah,
Yes,
they don't say Qatar. Have you noticed that, Mike? They would say Qatar. You know, and I'm
Qatar.
like, oh yeah, they say Qatar in the in our news, because they've been talking about that because of the war, part of the war. Yeah, Qatar. Yeah, they would say that. It's not like, I said, what? What did they say? And that's how they say it in our in this area, in the US. So so I know I've always called it Qatar. You know, in the Philippines, we say, well, where did your husband go? Qatar. You know, they would say that, right? So Mike, when you were in that country, Mike, how did they say the country's name?
It's Qatar. It's like Qatar.
Okay.
Yeah,
Qatar.
Qatar.
Okay.
Qatar. Yeah.
Qatar. I think the Filipinos would say Qatar, right?
Yes.
Okay. Joanne, anybody? Giselle, you have any question, Maverick, for me? My
Doc,
one thing is
is there
about
any specific school regarding that meeting on Wednesday?
No, that's West Memphis School. That they have a big,
West Memphis.
yeah, West Memphis School. That is,
Okay.
they have a very big district. There
But-
there may be 10 times. There may be 10 times, if not maybe I think 8 to 10 times the schools that we have been dealing with. They're one of the biggest districts here. And the nice thing about them is that they are very close to the other Filipinos here. You're only an hour and a half away. So you can, you know, you can attend events together. So I know they've been really partying on weekends there. They've been posting some things where they're getting together on weekends, which I'm very happy that they're doing that they are actually bonding and doing some activities together. So if we get some more folks in West Memphis, you will be very close to the others. So so yeah, do apply.
What are the
Giselle, you gonna
subjects that
apply?
they are looking for?
They have we showed it earlier. They would look like there's 10
Sorry.
science, and there's a few math, and there's some social studies, and there are only 2 in the elementary. So they're needing mostly in the junior high and the high school. But the thing is, if you're teaching elementary in certain field, especially in the core area, social studies, science, math, and ELA, you can take a praxis test and be able to go to a different level. So there is a praxis test. That's why I think, you know, 2 of the Helena teachers from elementary got moved up to high school because they passed the praxis for the high school. So they got moved up. So it's possible to do that. So even if you don't have the certification now, as long as you have the experience and you have your teaching degree and a teaching license, that's not expired, you should be able to apply in that area, and then just take the praxis test when you get here. But they are schools, that's how it works, that schools are given 2 years for the teachers to get their standard license, because when you first get here, you'll get a provisional license once you have taken your TOEFL. TOEFL is the teachers of English as a foreign language. I think that's what it means. And you're taking the speaking, writing, listening, and reading, those 4 areas. Mike, Mike passed TOEFL before he even came to America, right, Mike? You did it in Qatar.
Yes po, yes po.
Yeah, you did in your country, which is a good thing. You know, once you're really serious about coming here, I know it's about $200 investment, but it's the best investment you could do, because once you get here, you already have your TOEFL and you already will have your provisional license. And then you just work on other requirements like praxis, the test that they're going to want you to be in your field. And then they have a couple of online things that they want you to do, which is it's pretty simple. You know, I think science of reading is required for some people, and then Arkansas history is required for, I don't know, maybe all people, I don't know. But anyhow, so there's Arkansas specific things that they want, but it's very doable. TOEFL seems to be the most complicated ones. I know that, you know, so far the batches, the latest batches were really doing okay with it. They had they passed it the first time or whatever, maybe just one person that had to retake it. But like in the past, I knew of some Filipino teachers, that's not mine, that's not before my project here. They were taking it 6-7 times and could not pass it. And they have to, you know, most of the time schools would pay for the first one and then they have to pay for the rest. But anyway, so yeah, I don't remember. I think it was a reading and the writing that they struggled with. They were okay with the listening and the speaking part. They're good with it, but it's the writing and the reading that they really struggled in. That sometimes they would have like one area that they really like, you know, writing, for example, that they really were having a hard time with. But I guess the newer generation, the newer batch, that seemed to be an easier test to pass for them. Mike, what do you think about the test when you first took it? Was it hard?
Yes, yes po, for for me,
Yeah.
because I'm not good in English. That's actually I pass it on my second take.
Okay.
Yeah, but on my first take, I only needed 3 points for
Yeah, so you're close. Yeah.
yeah, 3 points to pass it.
Because I think it's 76 is the cutoff score, right? And then you got 73, so that's pretty close. Some of them were 20 away whenever they took it. So, you know, so they had to retake it and they continue to improve, but not quite enough for the 76 requirement. Was it 76, 72? I know it's 70 something. I don't remember
76
my
po.
76. Okay. Yeah.
Yes po.
And so they really have to study for that. So you can actually take it under ets.org, www.ets.org.
I think in the Philippines po, it costs 12,000.
ETS. 12,000?
Yes po, kasi dito po is 2,200, $225.
Okay, well, yeah, so 12,000 pesos would be your investment to get that TOEFL. If you're sure that you're going to teach in Arkansas, get your TOEFL. But if you don't know what state, you're going to have to go to that state and look at the requirement for their reciprocity. I know Arkansas, you cannot get around TOEFL, you have to do it. But if you're going to be in another state, you're just going to have to check their Department of Education. So if you're going to Illinois, you go to Illinois Department of Education and you go under their licensure. And under licensure, then you're going to look at their reciprocity. That's to honor another license from another country or another state. So you need that reciprocity requirement. So some of you may have a favorite state that you want to apply in. And I did have that file with all the states there, and most of them are aptly tracked, by the way. So Mike, can you find that one with job postings with all the 50 states, if you don't mind? I don't know if you can find it. I can do it, but most of you would have a copy of that. So you you have any questions while I'm trying to help Mike look for
So,
that?
Doc,
Yeah,
still here,
questions.
Doc. I'd like to have a question. Is West Memphis still in Arkansas, Doc?
Yes, yes. It's
Okay.
called, yeah, that's a good question. It's called West Memphis because it is the border between Arkansas and Tennessee. So when you go like 5 minutes, you go to Memphis, Tennessee. That's where the Tennessee is, or Memphis, where Elvis was born, where Elvis lived. So so yeah, good question. It is still in that's that in Arkansas in the border. So anyway, the I found it here now. The so it's very close to very close to Tennessee. And so you remember that like Helena, for example, or Mike is, they are by the border of Mississippi and Arkansas. And this one is in the border of Tennessee and Arkansas. So they're on the other side. So let me get this a link on this one. But anyhow, what other
Doc,
questions do you have? Yeah.
this was that I forgot. Before, Doc, I am an elementary teacher, Doc.
Right.
My course is Bachelor in Elementary Education, but my major is in mathematics. Abby told me before to apply in Elaine Marvel in the high school for mathematics, and that's why I'm going. You talked about a while ago about taking. Is it a praxis about teaching in high school? Do I have to take that one also if I'm going to teach in high school? If I'm going to apply in high school?
Yes. If that's not in your level, then you need to take that praxis test later. And by the way, I did send already the document with the 50 states. But anyway, yeah, you just have to take that praxis test, Giselle. So then you will be able to get to the level that they need for you to. You are given 2 years to do it. So they have your TOEFL would be your priority in order for you to get your license just in the United States, the license from the Philippine license to the US license. Then once in order to make that a standard license, you have 2 years to do that. And then you have to get your praxis to pass the praxis. It's the content part. It's the harder math, for example. So you're gonna have to like pretty much study because you're gonna be asked, so if you go up all the way to 8th grade, because there's a 4, 8, there's 9, 12. And so for the 4 to 8th grade one, it will cover, past the elementary, which will cover algebra 2. And the 9th to 12th here, that would cover geometry and trigonometry and other higher math. So if you still remember those things, then you should not have any problems. Like don't ask me about that because I forgot. I have to like review every time I observe a math teacher. I have to like get a review because I've always liked math, but it's been 40 years since I had to study it. So anyway, yeah, there's a can you
already took. I think Abby already took the practice test. It's been 3 Saturdays.
Yes.
She took the practice test, and I think she passed.
Oh,
Right?
I'm
It's
sure,
only
yeah.
the 3 Saturdays because every time she would let us know, and she always had a much higher score than the passing one.
Yep. There's you have smart relatives here. So I don't see you have any problems at all, Giselle. Yeah.
I'm pressured, Doc.
Oh no, don't feel that. But Marvel Elaine, that's why they're asking you to do that, that's where they live. Marvel Elaine is the place where they actually live. If you get a job there, you're walking distance to their school. So where they live.
Yeah, that's what she told me.
Yeah. So the thing with that is that school has been recommended to be closed because it was more of a they call them level 5 school that needs intensive help. And so what they did this year is now it's being run as a charter school. And it's a charter school
Okay.
run by more of a private company or something, some corporation. And so they are the ones doing the hiring. It's not like the regular school. And I know they're needing a lot of schools too. I don't know if you go to schoolspring.com, they may be advertising it, or you can just Google Marvel School District, Marvel Elaine, they call it. Marvel, double L, and then Elaine School District. So Marvel Elaine, no, yeah, Marvin, see, I can't even type. Marvel LL Elaine. And yeah, if you Google that Marvel Elaine School District, then you could see what their needs are. And that is like right there, but what, 25 minutes from where Mike is and them, and about another 25, 30 minutes to where Maria and them are. So it's kind of in between the two schools, the Brinkley and the Helena schools. And it's very close to Barton, where Leslie and Abby are teaching. But Marvel is the town where they live in, because it's the next town. So it's very close together. But yeah, Marvel Elaine is not a bad school to work in. If you want a smaller school, you want to pick that. If you want a bigger school in a more of a bigger city, then West Memphis will be a good fit for you, because it's right there where everything is. There's so many restaurants there. There's so many shopping places there. And you're very close to Memphis. They're 5 minutes to Memphis, and Memphis is huge. Memphis has everything. In fact, that's where the Filipino teachers go to get their groceries, the International Farmers Market. That's where they get all their rice and all the fish and all these other things that they need. They get it from Memphis. So if you work in West Memphis, you're only like maybe within 30 minutes or less to that market, where they have to drive an hour or so to go. And so yeah, it's pretty handy in that case. But yeah,
Okay.
and hopefully, if I talk to them and they really are interested in hiring folks, I'm going to offer my services. So I will be there. I would like to be there at least a week, every week, so that
Okay,
I'll
Doc.
be there and to check on you guys. So we'll see. I already talked to him about that's what I do at Brinkley, Clarendon, and Barton. I go there. Brinkley, I go there once a week, and Barton, I go once a month, and Clarendon, I go once a month. And so right now, Helena has not contacted me about theirs, but they were having issues with budget. So I don't know. I still continue. By the way, Mike, I'm still talking to Mr. Simpson, because he was calling me first, asking me for something. And I said, oh, by the way, you have not, you all, nobody has signed my contract yet. So I said, I'm still supporting them if they need me to help them, but I'm not in their classrooms. So, but anyway, but if they need my help, they can still get my help, Zoom, text, phone, whatever. But I go to their houses, but I do not have the contract to go in a classroom. So I would love to be, though, because there's 15 of you guys there. You need somebody. Somebody there. I would love to see the new things, like Dina is doing robotics and, all the new things you're doing. Mike is now in special ed instead of in high school, and he's now in elementary. So there's some changes there, like, Ernesto is now in high school, and Marilyn Ducabo is in high school now instead of elementary. So I would love to see their new classrooms. And that's why, hopefully they will do it. But I look back on my old, like last year, they also did it in October. They never do it in August like the other schools. They always did it like around October, November. So that's how they operate, I guess. So we'll see if they still would go through or not, would pull through or not. Mr. Gorey said, hello, good morning there. May I ask if a charter school can sponsor visa? That will be a question for them. I just know that because they are so new, they would, if they do not know about visa, I don't think they'll be brave enough to want to say yes on that one. Because for one thing, they might not have the financial capability right now, because they were a failing school in academic and in finance, in the they call them academic distress and in financial distress. So they have two problems there. So a bunch of their teachers left. So they had like a, I don't know, dozen or two or 3 dozen teachers that left them. And so they have to pretty much start over. And so budget wise, I suppose they don't have that much money. And so that they struggle. And so this Marvel Elaine could use our help, but I do not think you could depend on H1B. I don't think, but of course I've not talked to anybody there, so I would not really know. The old administrators I used to know, but they left too. So this is pretty much new folks running it. So I don't know if anybody stayed, but I just know the people I knew left. So I can't call them anymore about information. Okay, so Giselle said, Sir Mike, we asked for the link on West Memphis. If you scroll up, I hear Mike. Oh yeah, Mike also put that down. Thank you, Mike. Mike, can you look at Marvel Elaine district and see if you could find it for us? See if they are advertising some openings. I always pass by Marvel Elaine to go to see Abby and Leslie and Marissa, and then I go to Brinkley when I'm staying at my hotel. I stay in that side of Mississippi. Then I also pass by it in order to go to Brinkley. So that's pretty much in a more of an in-between place, Marvel Elaine. So Giselle, what did you find out about Marvel Elaine from just talking to your relatives here?
Abby just told me that they are hiring mathematics teachers, doc, in the high school department, and she told me that I might try. I try to apply maybe because, as she said, she'd been teaching in the high school even if she's an elementary teacher there. So she said just try.
And that's the thing
But
about
I'll be
sorry, go ahead.
I'll be applying for the West Memphis tonight, doc, because I already had an account on other district schools in Arkansas. It would be easier for me.
Yeah, it should be fast for you because they already got your information. Yeah, and so the I encourage you to do the West Memphis one then. You know, I want to welcome Duan. Duan is new.
Yes, hello, Doc. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, I just noticed that you pop in. Can you tell us about you?
Yeah, actually, Miss Doreen Anderson invited me to join this meeting.
Okay. Yeah, Doreen. Yeah, is Doreen here with us today? She's in Oklahoma now, but so did she attend, or she just told you to attend in her place?
Oh, I don't know, ma'am.
Okay.
But she just told me that I will attend this meeting.
Okay. Well, tell us about you, if you don't mind to tell us your your name, number of years you've taught, and what area, and what degree you finished, and why did you want to teach here in America?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Doc. So I am Dawn A. Galicia. So I am from Butuan City. Currently, I am here now in Colorado.
Okay.
I'm currently teaching here in ACMS, or Adams City Middle School.
Okay.
I've been teaching social studies and science subjects. I've been teaching for 9 years now.
Oh.
And yeah, the reason that I want to join this meeting is I want to know some strategies like the classroom management.
Oh, okay.
How to handle students.
Are you still struggling with that even after 9 years?
For 9 years, that's for Philippines only, Filipino learners.
Okay.
And I just arrived in Colorado last September 25.
Okay. So you're not happy where you are then, obviously? You are struggling?
To be honest, yeah, I am struggling. Like, my first teaching was last Monday.
Okay.
I've been shadowing for 3 weeks already, but for 1 week that I have taught, oh my goodness, I burn out and I don't know how to handle the students.
Oh,
so that's
no.
why Miss Doreen told me that you should join and you can learn many things from Doc.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you. That's nice of Doreen to say that.
You're welcome.
But it would be, oh my gosh, I will tell the West Memphis school about you because they want people that are already here if they could get them. And I'm like, well, you're not stealing my folks that are already in the schools I'm serving. I don't want to do that to their administrators. But for schools that I'm not serving, we can steal from them.
oh,
Yeah,
so if
but
I cannot, doc, if I cannot adjust to this like school, yeah, I'm planning to relocate or go or apply to another school. To be honest, this school belongs to tier one, and they are the lowest performing schools in our district. They
but
don't care
okay.
about education.
Well,
So,
that's what you're gonna end up here too, though. This is where the area
oh,
is. Yeah, they're gonna be what kind of population, the ethnic population that you're serving.
90% is Hispanic American
Okay.
and
But
10% is for white.
okay, well, Hispanic American, are they really not, they're the ones not listening to you, not doing well
Yes,
in behavior? Really? Well, see,
yes.
that's news to me because most of our, I mean, I do not want to stereotype ever, but from my experience, because I've taught, um, Mexican students, and some of them even just came from Mexico, they were really my well-behaved kids. They really behave very well. So maybe it depends on where they are. Because where I taught, and this was Little Rock where I taught, I only taught like one semester there, but they were like the best. They're so sweet. They would tell me stories about when they came to the US through the border, all this, and some of them were illegal. So they came in there telling me about, oh, we had to wear like 7 shirts in order for us not to have to carry clothes with us. We just wore it. And then we have like fresh tamales in our, we were carrying it with us, so we have something to eat. So they were really good kids. So of course you could never just bundle them up and say all the white kids are like this, all the black kids are like this, or Hispanic. You can't do that. They're just folks like us. They're just like students everywhere. They differ in personalities, and they differ depending on where they are. Here, you're going to be dealing with, I think maybe 95% blacks, African Americans in West Memphis, because that's where Memphis, close to Memphis, and Memphis is mostly black. But they are the sweetest kids. I mean, I've met a bunch of them in Brinkley and Helena, and it's just a matter of you bonding with them. I mean, like, Maria, oh my gosh, she just got it all together. She just like, hey, she would just get one word and they listen, because she got her classroom discipline, figured out. And the trick is to know them. So your first first 2 weeks should be about, you're covering their content, but you also give them like a do now, for example, where you have to know them, all about them. So they tell you something about them. There's a lot of, if you look at some of my reels on Facebook, I have a lot of all about me things that you can maybe use, something like that, where you can use to get to know them. And in that way, when you do your lesson, then you are going to incorporate what based on their interests or their abilities or whatever, their skills, based on what you know about them, because that's when they misbehave in teachers' classrooms, where they felt like the teacher does not even know me. Why do I have to behave when I don't know, teacher doesn't know me? So now they're trying to test their boundaries. So because you're a new teacher, they're gonna want to see, okay, let me see, can I get away with this? And then if you can, they keep on making it bigger and bigger and bigger until they're like, you get burned out, because they don't listen to you. And another thing that I noticed is routine. Rules, routines, and procedures are very important. So you have shadowed for 3 weeks, and you may not have established a routine for you that would work for you. Maybe you've shadowed someone, but then you did not really, kind of get a routine that you use every day. Like when in my classroom, this is what I do. My expectation is that when you first come in, you're going to line up outside my door. I'm going to be by the door. I'm going to be greeting you. And you're going to come in high school, elementary, and my latest experience was high school. So I'm going to use that. With the high school, I expect them to be outside. Of course, they're messing with their they have lockers. So they have lockers in the hallway. And after that, they come in and they're going to wait for me, make sure that I'm there, and I'm going to greet them. I would say something that, oh, good, nice shoes. Oh, is that a new clip? I would comment on visual, because I'm a very visual learner. Just, I would comment on some things that they have. Oh, cool backpack, whatever. So I would like do that, and kind of just to get them to smile. Like, oh, I'm so glad to see your smile today. You look so happy. You have a pleasant morning, whatever. I would just say something for every child. I would just do that as they come in. But then what I've told them already, then established, is that when they come in the classroom, they already have the piece of paper that I have for do now. And then now with technology, you have a PowerPoint that explains to them what they need to do. And so while I'm waiting for people to come in, or they're already going in, of course, in high school, they want to wait till the bell really officially rings for them to do it. So if you're going to have to, before we start, you can whisper to your classmates, but you better have a, you know, like level 1. Level 0 is like very quiet, right? Everybody's quiet. You need to be on level 1, which means whisper. You're going to whisper to people, you know, until I officially start the class. So when I officially start the class, then I'm going to set the timer. If I say 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I'm going to set that, and they better be working, because once I finish my lunch count and my attendance, which I'm not going to call their names individually because that's a waste of time. I'm just going to go look, you know, I have my, each period, I will have my, my sitting charts. So all I have to do is look at the sitting chart, you know, 8 kids here, there are 8 people, boom, everybody's here. You know, and if it's a lunch thing, I would you have a system of like when you're eating, you give me a, you know, you have their names on the board or whatever, and they just mark it for that day. I usually have, what I did end up doing was I have a leader. Later on, I assign a leader per period and their assistant, and so the leaders take care of that. You know, they have this little board that I have that they put the attendance and the lunch count. All I have to do is look up on the board. So yeah, so you can do that. But at first, you just really need to establish that, you know, I am interested in you. I care about you, and that let's get to know each other, because until they know that you care, they won't care to learn. I don't care to learn until I learn that you care. So they're going to have to learn that you do care, that you do want them to succeed. And, you know, being Filipino, our language is 80% Spanish. La mesa, tenedor, cuchara, all this are Spanish. And so once you know that and you share with them, oh, by the way, I'm Filipino, right? And our language is mostly Spanish, because the Spaniards were there for 333 years. They actually, you know, colonized the Philippines. So they replaced a bunch of our language. And do you know that I know that this is la mesa, tenedor, cuchara? I know that. You know, they were just like, oh my gosh, she knows this, you know. And that's how I won my Hispanic population, the kids in my room, because I was like sharing with them that, oh, I know this. What's Spanish on this again? You know, whatever. And they just felt so important that, oh, Dr. McCullough wants to ask me about this particular Spanish term that I really did not know, and they were helping me. But anyway, they see that I'm a learner like them, and they see that I don't know it all. I'm learning from you. And I'm interested in what you have in your mind in all this. So this is all about caring. All their do now might be about them. Like, tell me about your 5-year goal. Tell me about your 10-year goal. What do you want to be in the future? What's your goal in the future? You know, I even asked, like, what's your future family? Draw your future family. You know, some of them had no kids, or 2 kids, 5 kids, like 6 kids. And in the back, they drew it. Anyway, so any little things that you do in order for you to get to know them, but really it's also asking them to help to continue to write, to practice the writing, because everybody's a reading teacher. Everybody's a literacy teacher. Whatever class that you're teaching, even the math folks, you need to even have them to write like error analysis. You know, you have a problem in math, I want you to write what you did wrong, what steps you did wrong. And that's writing. That's still writing like mathematicians would write. In science, you have them write like what scientists would write, you know, in their experiments and in their, you know, the analysis of their results and so on. And so anyway, but yeah, I think that's the key there, Duan. If you try, what do you think that you have established with them already?
Yeah, actually, I established the behavioral chart, and
Okay,
it worked out well in 2 core groups, but the 2 core groups didn't follow. So, like, it's a matter of being consistent with these rules and give like consequences of their actions, because, you know, to be honest, Doc, I'm scared to like move them out, because our supervisors told me that you can let them out for 10 seconds and tell them that if you want to like to listen to the class, you can come in, and but be sure to follow the instructions. But I'm scared, Doc. I'm scared to do that.
That's your first mistake. You should not be afraid of your kids. You know, I have some high school kids from Helena, Mike's folks, that said something the same thing in that line. And those are the same folks that struggled with discipline at first because they were really afraid of the kids. I'm like, no, don't be afraid of the kids. They're just kids like the Filipinos, you know, Filipino kids, except they are in America. You know, kids are kids. In high school, they're just kids in bigger pants. you know. So anyway, so I would like for you to not be scared, because that's one thing that you need to conquer right now. Is because if you look like you're scared of them, they're gonna eat your lunch. They call that here. Eating your lunch means that they're gonna be just giving you a hard time. You're not gonna have a good time. You're not gonna have a good successful week if you're gonna be showing them that you're afraid. Just I always just say, fake it until you make it. Just make sure that they know that I'm in charge here. I do care about you. I want you to learn, but I'm the boss here. I'm the one that knows what we're going to do, and that what's going to happen, in that 1 hour or 45 minutes that you're here. I have the control of that. But in order for you to have that control, is you have to be also established with your schedule. If I'm going to do 10 minutes of this, I better be ready when they get done. How do you do it? Like if that's in my classroom, I always have 2 or 3 people to share what they wrote. I would never force someone to share if they don't want to. They can share it with me individually, but I would never share like, oh, you have to share. No, if they don't want to share, don't force them. Okay. But only the ones that there's always going to be the eager ones that want to share. And then out that way, everybody will get to know each other. And then eventually they'll know each other enough that they will kind of treat each other like family. And you're establishing a stronger learning community in your classroom. And once you've done that, it's like a family. They care. They want everybody to succeed. They want to be kind to each other. And you also want to show that you're kind whenever you're not just there to do their behavior and to get them, you are also there to reward them. Like I reward mine a lot with verbal phrases, but I'm very specific about what I say. And I would say things like, oh, I love the way that you explained that. Like did you notice, class, did you notice that, how so-and-so went into detail about that and really explained step 1, 2, 3. I love that. Make sure you do that again. I would say things like very specific. Specific is terrific. You don't just say, good job, great job. You just don't do that. Be specific on what you really like about it. Okay. So I think that's one. Just make sure that you have your rewards. It's more, to me, the reward part, the positive reinforcement part is better than the negative one, because they look at you in a positive light. So you're going to be praising them. If you're allowed in your school to give rewards, a bag of candy goes a long, long way. It might be forever for them to get it, but you have your, for example, if you're doing your reward system and you can color code it, like, I don't know, you cannot change what the school already established, but if you're free to establish it, I would do like a color coding. If it's a nice one marked, then I put a green. And if it's a bad one, I put a red. And so you want to have more green, So anyhow, but then it's like a minus, 2 green minus the 1 red, you only really have 1 green today. But anyway, so things like that. But then you praise them if they do something good, and then have them to work in groups. If you're expected to just be the one to be doing the instruction and you're afraid of them, it's going to show more. Okay, but you're going to plan something where you do it, you explain something, whatever you want them to do. So I do it, and then we do it together. Now let's see if we know how to do this. And once you know that they know how to do it, then you can put them in groups. If you are not comfortable with groups because they can behave themselves, do it in pairs first. Have them do your class, your seats in pairs. Okay, and just say that the research is actually saying that students learn from each other better from each other than even from a teacher. They're more effective teachers than us, especially in high school, because they are that peer pressure thing, that peer where to them in high school, they look at their peers as their family. Sometimes they look at them as their family more than they do their own families. That's just the stage where they are. We're like, at that age, about 14, 15, 16, we're so dumb. As parents, they look at us as so dumb. They don't know anything. It don't matter if they have their doctorate degrees or engineer, whatever. They don't know anything because they're parents. But our bunch, or me, as a 16-year-old, or my people, my friends, we know it all. That's the stage where they are. And then when they turn 18 to 21, you're smart again. You're smart again. In their 30s, you're really, really smart. They know. Have more wisdom, like, oh, mom and dad really knew what they were doing, what they're saying. So, but anyway, but it's a stage that you go through. What grade are you teaching, Duan?
I'm teaching grade 8 students, ma'am.
8, okay, that, oh my gosh, 8 is like the really, yeah, that's a grade that you either are gonna be there really, they're close the teacher that they love or the teacher that they really don't like. So you want to be in the column where the teacher that they love, the teacher that they like. In order to do that, you're gonna have to get to know them. And so yeah, do the little things like that, and come up with some kind of reward, you know, like if they do so many, for example, if you do marks on the green, if you do 5 greens, you will be homework free. You know, you don't have to do homework. I will or do half of them. If the other homework is 10, you only do half that. You come up with something like that where it doesn't even cost you money, but you still get to know what the kids know. But you don't have to have 10 questions to know that. You can have 5 of them, and you still know if the kid learned the concept or not, right? So you can cut that work, but you can use it as a behavioral thing. In my classroom, since I have stations, I have like bean bags. They love bean bags. And if you have like a little couch where you can fit a little couch, they love that area where they feel so special because we get to sit in special couch or this little, you know, bean bags. So they get to do that if they're the best. You know, we establish that together. Like if you do this, then you can do the bean bag, you know, deal. And you can go to the science center where we have our pets and you can take care of the pets and all this. So I established something like that where they have something like for the high school, you can do a literacy center or literacy station or publishing station where they can actually write stories. You can provide some papers and pencils and markers there, and they can write stories, they can write poetry and so on. And you can, you know, ask them if you provide a board there where they can actually, display that and honor that. They don't have to because they might be writing it to their girlfriend or boyfriend, but you provide that an opportunity to showcase what they're proud of, you know. So anyway, but you have to know your students in order to know that. Like you might have an art center if you know that your kids are mostly very artistic kids. They love to draw. So when your work is done, you can go to the drawing station, to the art station, and you can have fun doing that. My kids love chess because I was a chess coach. So I actually have a station there with my art station where I put the chess sets. I have a couple of chess sets there. Up to 4 people could be there, sitting there in that table and play chess. And then they have to put their name on sticky notes so they know who are the people. They cannot break somebody's set. You know, they're going to finish that later. So they have to put their sticky note there. Who are the people that they need to ask? Are you done? Can we change this up? Because, you know, are you done with this game? So they have to be respectful like that. You know, so it, you know, when you do something like that, I think you would have more fun classroom. You're not just there talking the whole time. You are actually having activities, you know, where you have an activities where they are either, when they're doing all 4, you know, you have a good one. When they're speaking and they're writing, and then listening and also reading, all those 4 things, those are, think of it as like a chair with 4 legs. Those are the 4 legs. So if you have those 4 legs going, you have a very good a lesson, which means that when you're asking them to do something, then at the end of the 5 minutes or 3 minutes, you're asking them to do it. Then it rings and you say, okay, now we share. That's called debriefing. And that's where they would share what they did. Okay, group 1, I want you to share what you did, because as they were doing it, you were monitoring. I would be on my clipboard and I would be writing things like, if they did something great, I would say, you know, this. And so when I do my debriefing, I would say, hey, when I was monitoring earlier, I know this group 3 really had some really great ideas. Do you mind sharing that with the rest of the class? You know, I would say that because then I'm acknowledging them and validating them. But at the same time, they know I'm listening, and you want your kids to learn from each other as well. It's like a discovery of something. You know, when you have like the scientists at NASA discover something that new, they would actually have this press conference in CNN or whatever. They would have that, you know, to share what they know. That's exactly what you're doing in your classroom. They discover something, so now they have to share. And that's where the speaking and the listening comes in. So once you do something like that, when you have actually encouraged them to showcase their products, and here we are discussing for 5 minutes. So I would like for you to share that. You don't have to have every group. I usually just go 1 or 2, 3 if they really insist on it. But I would remember that, you know, when I taught 4th grade, where I taught them all day long, they didn't move. I taught them all the subjects. then I need to remember that I've called everybody at least once for that day, you know. So I actually had a popsicle stick with their names on them, and I had to pull. And so once it's been pulled, it goes down on my desk. So only the ones that are left in my little cup with their names on the popsicle stick. And then, or it could be a playing cards with their name on it. So I'll just pull the cards out, and then once they all have been called, then I put it back in again. You know, so there's the fairness there and equity. Fairness and equity means that you have actually been fair to them by calling each one of them an opportunity to be called. And in another strategy is when you have a group of 4, which my favorite number is 4 when they're grouping, because to me that's just enough. 3 or 4, but not 5. 5 is like, or more, is like the 5th one would be a slug. They'd be like, they're going to do it anyway. You know, I'm just going to be a slug. I'm not going to do anything. So 4 would be my limit. And so when you have 4, then I would do like a cup with 4 pennies. You know, here in America, the pennies with brown, right? So you put 4 pennies there, and that's called my 2 cents. So once you have, everybody's got their penny. Once they've talked in that group, they have to drop their penny. I have given my 2 cents worth, my 1 cent worth there in a penny in the cup. And then another person will put their penny in, and everybody have to spend their penny in before you can start over. Or you can give them 2. I think you give them two each. 2. That's why it's called my 2 cents worth. And then that's to show fairness about everybody has to talk. You know, of course, in a grouping situation, you're gonna have to have a role. I want you to choose a leader, and then there's a leader. There's a presenter, the one that would present. There would be a material manager that would get the materials, and then come up with another job. You know, it could be a note taker, some recorder. They call them recorder. So anyway, but the trick to that is you give them time alert, and giving them time. You have 5 minutes to do this, and well, we're not done. Okay, I will give you 2-minute extension, but that will be it. So you need to be on task. Okay, so once you get that time thing, they have to be on the ball, because you are over there. You're not sitting on your desk. You're going around and checking that everybody's actually doing what they're supposed to do, because the clock is ticking. You know, right now you have digital timer. You can Google digital timer, and most schools in America, we have the smart board, right? So you show that timer. I love the digital timer where when it becomes a 0, it just like have this explosion, like a bomb went off, and they love those. I change it up all the time, so they have different explosion, different effects, and so they can't wait to see, what happens when 3 minutes are up. Because I would change my digital timer, you know, different times, but they'll have their favorite. They love the little bomb thing anyway. So that's one thing you could do. And I know in like Christine's classroom in Brinkley, she has this giant clock. I think she had it ordered, and they would see, and they could hear the sound when it's already, you know, it's already done. So she would always time. And I think that's one of the key is if you time them. So if you have your 45-minute, I do my 10-minute do now, then I'll debrief for another 2 minutes. That's 12 minutes. And then maybe I will explain for 8 more minutes. That's 20. And so you have 25 minutes to do your, you know, grouping and all this and presentation. So if you have a structure like that, you know, on something where they have, you know, one of the teachers in Barton, Marissa, she's very good at doing like, she always does a board work where she would explain something and then she would want them to come to the board and do it because she's math. And so they have to explain whatever. So that's called reciprocal teaching sometimes. In my room, I would actually sit on their desk. I want so-and-so, Mr. So-and-so to teach us now. So now I'm going to sit on their desk. Teacher, I'm going to be a teacher. I'm going to so-and-so now. Okay, I'm not teacher now. You are the teacher. And I'm, you know, I'm John now, you know, whatever. But they love that elementary. They might not like that in high school. I've not done it in high school, but you just have to acknowledge them that, oh, they know and they want to share what they know. So call them on the board. And then in some schools, or you can even ask your principal, you can have an individual chalkboard, little whiteboard that they can write their answers and you show. So I would say, okay, this is the problem. And they write on the board. I said, okay, show. And everybody shows up their board like this. So I very quickly, easily see who's got it and who didn't get it. So when I notice somebody that did not get it, then I'll try to keep it in my head. And that way I know I'm gonna have to go and individually teach this child or pair up with somebody, you know. So that's a very quick way. And if you do not have the board, you actually can do like those little board, poster boards, cut it in small and then laminate it. And they can use those the marker that you can erase. And I think a hairspray is very good at cleaning those things. You know, you spray hairspray and it's easy to clean it. But of course, those wiper too, those little baby wipe stuff, they're perfect to clean them. You know, but anyhow, but any little thing where you are having them to all be engaged. So those are engaging things that I'm sharing with you. And a very important, a very, very favorite strategy of mine is 10-2. 10 minutes I talk, 2 minutes you have to process. You have to talk about it. You have to discuss. You are doing think, pair, share. So you're going to be thinking first. You're going to be talking to your partner. You're going to pair, and then you're going to share out. So think, pair, share. And some people would do, and I've done this, think, pair, write, share. So they have to write it and then they share it. So TW, no, think, write, pair, share. Yeah, it's TWPS. It's think first, write, and then you share what you wrote with your partner and then share. So TWPS instead of just TPS, think, pair, share. So those are some strategies that I really like to do. And but do not do so many strategies at once. Get them to be used to one, like 10-2. Try to do that 10-2. Okay, you can, because I cannot keep up with time. Pretty bad about like can't keep up with time. So I always have a timekeeper person in my room. So I go, okay, set the timer. But now you have Alexa. In America, you have this Alexa. Okay, Alexa, set for 10 minutes. And then Alexa would talk, you know, it would ring, you know. I've seen a teacher in I think it was in Helena, that it's not a Filipino teacher, it's a local teacher, and the principal asked me to observe some local teachers, and she was using Alexa like crazy. She said, okay, Alexa, for 5 minutes, set it for 5 minutes, set it for 10 minutes. I mean, oh my God, I don't think she could teach without Alexa. You know, I was like so impressed. And like later when we debrief, I said, oh my gosh, you did such a good job of using Alexa. You know, I've never seen it being used in the classroom a lot. And she did a good job of using talking. Is that Mr. we need to mute everybody else that's not talking, I think. Anyway, so those are some things that you could do. What other things have you done in your classroom that I did not share? Those are my favorites, by the way. I'm sharing you my favorites that I've used many times. Whatever, you know, I remember I have more than 30 years of experience now. Half of them teaching, half of them as administrator. And so I've seen them in action. I've observed teachers do it, and I've taught teachers how to do them. And I've actually taught in front of the teachers, so they observed me using it, and then I watch them to do it. So I always want to take the risk first as an administrator. So when I say I have my coaching hat today, I'm not really evaluating you today, I'm coaching you. And so then they, oh, Dr. McCullough, will you show this, how to do this? Remember when we had our meeting, because I had a meeting with them as a principal, we'd meet with them every Wednesday. So all the teachers would come in during the prep time, and we would be, you know, having this little 30-minute meeting. And I would show them some strategies. And I actually would use a graphic organizer to do this. And I'm actually modeling to them how I would use this strategy. But the content of the strategy is our meeting. So, but I'm modeling this strategy, right? And so then they come, you know, they go back to their classroom with my visual organizer that I use. And now they can use it for their content. You know, they can use it, whatever content they have, because I use it in my own content. Now you can use it in yours if you want. You don't have to. But, you know, one day, I shared this before, my son was in that building, junior high, said, Mom, did you share this organizer? You know, he was sharing, he was telling me what kind it was. I said, yes, I did. Said, Mom, 5 of my teachers use it today. And so that was like impressive. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, I did not tell them to have to use it, but they chose to use it because they feel comfortable, because they were my student using the visual organizer. So they know as a student how it would be, how effective it would be, or how whatever, if they need to adapt it, change it, whatever, you know, but the point is use those strategies. From the 10-2 strategy to the visual organizer to TPS, think, pair, share, to think, write, pair, share, you know, all those things like that would work for you. Just have them talk. Appointment clock is perfect for, like, if you change the things, if you change the grouping, you have this clock. So you have this clock. So I would use like a, can you see it? No, Okay, you have this clock, so a circle, but circle. I would use the paper plate. You just draw that, and then you put your 12, 6, 3, and 9, and you have a line under each one, and that's where who your 12 o'clock partner is, who's your 6 o'clock partner is, or your 3 o'clock and a 9 o'clock. So you have to take the time to have them find their partners, and then all I have to do, of course, in their neighborhood, and I said, okay, I want you to turn to your 6 o'clock partner and share this. And then the next time I do it, I'm saying, okay, this time I want you to share with your 3 o'clock partner. And that's called appointment clocks. And to me, I've used it with teachers when I do professional development, when I do PDs with them. I always do appointment clocks because it's not boring. That way you have different people you're sharing with. And at the same time, you get to know the other teachers. The other students will get to know the other students because they are having different appointments with them on whatever different topics that I have them to stop and talk about it during my 10-2 strategies. Yeah. Question. Oh, I did more than 10 minutes. I was not doing what I'm supposed to. I was not modeling what I'm supposed to teaching. 10-2. You're supposed to talk for 10 minutes and then you do 2 minutes. So tell me about how you can use, which strategy do you think you can try in your classroom? Or is there one that you think would work in your classroom? Duan, I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah, in my case, Dog. Thank you so much, Dog. I learned many things from you today. The 10-2 talking, I love that. I will do that.
Okay.
In my case, I've been teaching for 9 years, right, Dog? I've been using this carousel method.
Okay. Tell us about that.
Method in which students will move. You will assign them into different sections or 5 sections. Then they will do a certain task. Of course, there are rubrics in it, and if I will set a timer for 10 minutes for each stations or 5 minutes, they will move around until they will go to all the stations and present their ideas, like doing the graphic organizer because it's history, doing the broadcasting and even singing or making a song about it. And that's it.
Yeah, that's called a gallery walk here. We call that gallery walk. Anytime you have some station thing where they have to go walk, you can either do it as individual or as group or as pairs, and that's called gallery walk. And people do it differently. Sometimes they set up tables or chairs and different tasks. They do that. And sometimes that's a combination of gallery walk and 4 corners. So they set up 4 corners in the room, and the students, the first group will go to corner 1 and the second group in corner 2 and so on. And then when you ring the bell or whatever, symbol or, signal that you tell them, then they switch. And then they do it or whatever. I love what you said though. I love your carousel idea, because that sounds like you have to really get, if they're going to have tasks to do, you're going to have to really show them how to do those tasks first in order for you to put that in the gallery walk. So it's a very good culminating activity, sounds like. So you have used that effectively, or sometime when they don't behave though, that will not work perfectly. What did you find about this group?
Yeah, it worked out well, Doc, because before administering this carousel approach, I did a survey, what are your skills, your interests? By that, I grouped them in the different stations, the reporters, the dancers, the singers, the writers.
Love that.
And it worked out well.
Oh, I love that because you are incorporating the multiple intelligences, your MI. So you're gonna have your artistic and your linguistic, your talkers and your dancers and your music people. So perfect, love it, because you are really incorporating all kinds of strategies in one. You got your gallery walk, you got your 4 corners, you got your MI, your multiple intelligences there. So you really are doing a lot of things going on there. And so the trick to that is really be a very diligent teacher to really see what they're doing when they're doing in groups. So you can kind of know when they debrief what you want them to feature. So and so I want you to do your dancing thing that, do you mind sharing your dancing thing? I would never force them. So I would say, do you mind sharing it? If not, that's okay. You can call somebody though to do it, or you can ask a friend to do it. I would always say something like that, because you never would want to put a child in a corner where they have to do something, especially in America. Philippines, you may be able to handle to get away with that. Not in America. They're so independent. They don't want to be bossed around. They want democracy. They want they want to feel like they have the freedom of choice. I can choose things here in America. And so you have to provide that in your classroom as well, that they have choices in your classroom. That they if you don't want to do it in orally, then you can do it in writing if you want. If you don't want to be doing this, you can write a rap, you can write a song, you can do I will give them choices like that. Because whatever the abilities are, that's what you need to feature. Because your goal as a teacher is just to know if they know it. They can show it in different ways. That's differentiation. The product is different, but you are still learning the same skill. But the product may be different based on the skills of the students. And that's perfect. You did a good job on that one. I love that. So I like that you call that carousel walk. So I guess, yeah, I have heard that carousel walk, but it always commonly used here as gallery walk. That's what most people would use here. Who knew about carousel walk that Duan was sharing? Does anybody know about that already? Is that something commonly used in the Philippines?
No.
No? One of my favorite ones when they did like showing about product and the talent of students is when I went to Taguig, Manila. I was one of the evaluators for the accreditation, and this teacher was so creative. She said, "You can share, but you have to sing the whole time. You have to really sing in different tune, whatever it could happen. But they have to share it in a singing format." So that was so fun. I didn't want to leave that classroom. And I told her that, like, oh, too bad I'm only here for 20 minutes. We have to watch a different classroom for at least 20 minutes. I didn't want to leave her room. So I actually stayed till 10 minutes extra because I wanted to know, what the other kids did. And that was so fun for me. So I'm sure that was fun for the students, for them to come up with a tune, and then they have to sing it in that tune and share what they wanted to share with the group. So be creative like that. Yeah. Okay, so anybody, there's a new one, Australia. I mean, Duan, what do you think about that? Do you, our brain can only handle as adult 5 to 7 chunks. So I try to do less than 7 chunks, 7 strategies there. It's right there in the corner, but this video will be posted on YouTube in my channel. So you just have to find my channel. It's ITSA, ITSA, International Teacher Support in America. That's ITSA. And then type my name and you will see it. And I have maybe more than 200 videos there now. So check it out and subscribe. If you all want to subscribe, I love to have 1,000. I only have 101 right now. I really would like to have 1,000 subscribers. That's my goal. So if you can if you can advertise my YouTube to people, if they like life in Arkansas. I have posted so many things about life in Arkansas, like the Filipino teachers when they went boating for the first time and they went to skiing. Mike, were you on this one? Mike, did you go boating with us? I don't remember. You didn't go boating, did you?
Doc, Sir Mark has already left.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, so when Maria went boating and started screaming the whole time, we were saying, "Maria, buhi pa ka day? Are you still alive?" Because they were like skiing for very, very, very fast and very, very, lots of waves and stuff. That's got 2.4K views on it. In the same day that I posted, it's got 2,400 views. So anyway, you might want to see. And then one of the Filipino teachers, Betsy, I brought her to my house. Most of them would come to my house, right? And she climbed up my apple tree. I have 2 apple trees in my yard, and it was loaded with fruits. And so she climbed up, and I made some reels of her climbing up. I think one of hers was 1.8K views. She was up there on top getting the apples, and I was over there with a little pole, so little basket thing she would put the apple in. She was over there like a monkey up on top getting the apples. But that was fun. And also another one that had a lot was the other Filipino teachers were also climbing up the apple. Well, it was Abby's husband, I think it was Alvin, that actually climbed the other apple tree and start picking apples to give it to Abby. And so all of them came home with apples. I mean, we had so many apples. My husband said, you have to have the teachers help you get those because we had so many, they were dropping on the ground. And they, the rabbits and squirrels and all these birds were getting them. But yeah, that was fun. So life in Arkansas. So you don't just show them, even if they're not educators, if you want to know what life in America is, life in Arkansas is, you will see I have a lot of things there, like nature. Like lately this week, I saw these dahlias loaded with bees. So I was filming them and how they were going from one step to another. I'm so goofy like that. Anyway, and a lot of time we would feed our fish in our pond. We have a little pond just a few distance from our house, just a driving, we have this little four-wheeler and we go in there and then we would feed a fish, and the view is amazing. So I always like to, you will see a lot of my videos there. I'm sure those that had followed me will remember that. Joanne, I think, have commented on a lot of my videos. Giselle, have you watched those videos that I have on my pond videos?
Yes, Doc.
Yeah.
Some of those.
Yeah.
The one that you are feeding in the
Yeah, we're
pond.
feeding
Are you feeding the fish?
yeah, or catching the fish for the first time. I think it was my niece Sophia, who is just turned 12, I think, but that time she was only 5 or 6, maybe 5, and she caught her first fish, and that had 995 views, nearly 1,000 now, and because she was so nonchalant about it, like, oh, I got this fish. She was like not really showing how excited she was, but she was so happy, and she was just like trying to get the fish. But it was kind of neat to see her catch that fish. But yeah, so if you don't mind to put it on your Facebook and put the link to my station, to my YouTube, that would be great, because it's very informative for folks in the Philippines to know how life in America is. It's good for you. You're planning to come here. You want to know what life in Arkansas is like, because it's going to be similar to when you go to other states. The difference is if you go to the city, then it's going to be a different experience. These are country experience. These are out in the country, like a province for us. So in the South, you'll see a lot of these things that I've shown in my reels or in my YouTube videos, because we live in the South. These are places that are not, I mean, where we live, where we are is not very big. It's a very small town, everybody. I remembered when we had landlines, somebody was calling, I was calling somebody, and I missed the number, and they said, oh, Marlena, it's not 2236, it's 2237. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you live in a small town if they give you the right number when you have the wrong number. So it was that small. I mean, we have about 1,500 people. That's all. I think in Helena has about 9,000, close to 10,000 people in their place. So they have a school with 4,000 students. While in my school, in Salem, we have 400 elementary, 400 in high school. There were only 800 total. And then, of course, I work in bigger districts where we also have 4,000, 5,000, students. I've worked in both small and large schools. Yeah. And then I've also worked in the urban, the rural area where we are, and in the urban where Little Rock is. So, as teacher applicants, you're going to have to think about where do I feel comfortable in? If I, like Duan, are you in a big city or are you in a small town?
I am in a big city, dog.
Okay. Are you a
Near
big city?
Denver.
Are you a big city girl or are you a country girl? Do you like the small town?
I live in the Philippines. I live in a city. Yeah, I used to this type of situation. Yeah.
Okay. But do you enjoy the province too when you go see the province?
Oh, honestly, I'm scared to go to Denver.
Oh, Denver is big. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to go to the mountains, the Rocky Mountains, Aspen.
Yeah. That would be perfect. Yeah, that would be it's really pretty there. I've been there. Yeah. Anyway, it's I actually have a couple of friends that live there. I don't know if they still do, but anyway, I know one moved to Florida. But anyway, so yeah, if you like the country, like the province feel, then come to Arkansas, because most of Arkansas is like that, unless you go to Little Rock or West Memphis. It's a little more city, but not really. I mean, it's still big city, but yet it's next to small towns. Like 1 hour away is where Brinkley is, it's where Maria is, and Christine is. And so anyway, and then 1.5 hours away, then that's where Helena is, where 15 teachers, Filipino teachers, are there. So they have an automatic party group. They have because most of them are with families. So like Mike has 2 kids. So in his home, you already have 4 there. I think Jing has 3. So she has 5 people there. Marissa has 2, so she has 4 people. So when I'm inviting them, I would put down there how many people in parentheses, so I know how many people I have coming for my planning purposes. And yeah, so most of the time there's more than 20 people that would come to any celebration that we have because of their families, which is really cool, you know, to celebrate things here with families. And that's the beauty of us here, Duan, in Arkansas, is we're like a big, huge family. You know, we just think of each other as family, and I'm right there in the middle of it. You know, I invite them over to my house a lot, and we would do country life things, from fishing to going to the lake and skiing and so on. So yeah, we do all kinds of things like that. And camping, I would love for them to experience camping, so maybe next time. But then in the summer, we're planning to either go on a cruise or go to Disney World, or maybe both, because that's in Florida. So I was just telling them, you need to save some money, because that's going to take some money to do it. And so if it's going to cost $500, $600 and you have 4 people, that $2,400 is what you need to save. So I was like already telling them ahead of time, if you're planning to go with us in this cruise that I'm planning to organize, then you're going to have to save some money. Or else maybe just be a mama trip. Maybe just mom can go. I've actually gone with my sister. My sister and I went. That was the most fun. That's why I want to go again, because it was so fun, just my sister and I going, because my husband and my kid, Jet, was already with us in one trip. So they decided, oh, we already been there, you know, so you go. And so it was a sister trip, which is really, really, really fun. And I see a lot of teachers, by the way, in those cruises. And you know how you can tell that they were teachers? They're the loudest one. I mean, they're just having the best time, jumping up and down, and they're just like so happy. And so I would turn around, I would say, "You're teachers, right?" She said, "How did you know?" I'm like, "You just have this feel like you're teachers." But anyway, they have just so much fun, and I'm hoping that that's what we can do, is emulate that we really, you know, enjoy each other, and that, you know, we work hard, but we also play hard. You know, we also have fun together. And I think that's the best way. Okay. All right. So you can tell I was so excited about that. I just light up when I'm talking about, you know, doing things with teachers, because I really enjoy it. In a school, I don't charge you guys, right? But schools pay me. Schools pay me big when I go, because it's my time. I have to drive 4 hours one way to go, and then I have to drive 4 hours to go back. It's an 8-hour trip for me just to go to there. So usually I have to go the day before, spend the night at a hotel, and then work the next day. And that's what I do. Brinkley has hired me every week, so I go there every Wednesday. Like this week I go Tuesday, because I have two schools to do this coming week. So I would go Tuesday, spend the night at a hotel. I usually invite one of the Filipino teachers to spend the night with me in the hotel, because there are usually 2 beds, and I don't want to be by myself. Usually Betsy is my go-to person, because she loves to go to the hotel. And so I stay in really nice hotels. And so anyway, so we would kind of have fun at night. You know, we would just like listen to music, or you go out to the restaurants and all that. And so play games, you know, if it happens to be a casino, then we go down there. But anyway, so yeah, it's a fun place. It doesn't matter if they teach in a small town, but you can still visit the big town, right? Okay. So Faye is here. Faye, you have to talk to me. Glad to be attending the event today. Thank you for the invitation. Myrna, the person to leave for now. I need to prepare. No problem, Dai. Yes, in Qatar we have a class on a Sunday. Okay, well that's okay, because I will post this video on the YouTube. I'm trying to learn how to do shorts, like from this video of 2 hours something, then I want to put it in minutes at a time, segments at a time. So for example, when I was explaining to you about the strategies, I would love to show that in just a few minutes of just that part. And in order for that to be easily consumed, you know, right? Okay, so Faye, did you have a question for me, Faye? I see you pop up.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you so much. Hope to attend the next Zoom meeting. Thank you so much.
For attending. Do you have no questions at all? You missed the strategy. Huh? How about Faye? Myrna, did you say you have some question? Or Cherry? Australia is here too.
Yeah. Thank you for your time, ma'am.
Well, thank you. And I know you're sleepy now, so we're gonna try to end this unless is there someone I want to see? Make sure that I've talked to Verna before. Verna, do you have anything to say? I would love for you in video to be shown on video. So I will have, when I review the pictures later, I'm gonna see you talking because I forget, so I have to review. Maverick, did you want to talk to us today? Maverick or Verna or Mercida?
Yes, my dog. Good morning.
Good morning.
Somebody's talking in the background. Is that Verna? Or is that Faye's bunch? Faye, is that your bunch?
Yes,
Okay,
Doc.
Cherry.
Good morning, Doc.
Good morning. Hey, Cherry, did you want to talk to me, Cherry? Did you just want to listen? Are you being shy because it's your first time?
No, second time, Doc.
Second time. But you did not talk much last time, or else I would have remembered you.
Yes.
Did you talk a lot? Or I'm telling you, I'm getting old. I'm 56 years old now. So I forget. Huh?
I did not talk last time. I did with you.
Okay, maybe I have to review that tape, that film.
Yeah, I know.
I apologize because I don't remember. There's so many of you. There's 387 in our group right now.
Okay, Doc.
Yeah, that's my excuse. I have a very bad memory now. So Cherry, thank you for coming in. Duan, do you have any last things that you want to say? I know this is your first time and I'm talking about strategies with you. Do you have any last minute thing that you want to say? Because I'm about to say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much, Doc. All your insights are new to me. Thank you so much. I learned many things from you and hope to attend your next meeting or webinar.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it's always every other Saturday. So this is the 21st, so that we are going to skip the 28th. And so November 4th will be the next one.
Yeah, thank you so much, Doc.
November 4th. And I will always post that. Anyway. Yeah, well, thank you so much, guys. If anybody don't,
Doc Giselle here. I have an query, Doc. Hello, Doc.
Yes.
I'm opening West Memphis School District, Doc. I'm starting my application.
Yay.
And I had difficulty with the semester hours. I think there is a big difference between Philippines and the United States, Doc. They're asking for semester hours, and here in the Philippines, as you said before, right? We are having units in the Philippines, and in America, you're having hours.
That's right.
So what I'm going to put this one, Doc. They're asking about the subject areas that I've been taking during my bachelor years, and they're asking for semester hours.
That's how many units. Hours is units. Yeah.
Okay, Doc.
Hours is just units. So if a subject has, most of the subject have 3 units. So if you're taking 10 courses, then you have 30 units or 30 hours.
Okay. So another thing, Doc.
Yeah.
They also have the grading system, Doc. As I skipped that one because in my school, we are having 1 as the highest grade and 5 as the lowest grade.
Okay.
But here I'm going to check that.
Yeah, here in America, it's A is 1, B is 2, and C is 3, 4 is 3, and 5 is F. So that's in between.
It's asking for overall GPA and major GPA. Then the scale is, what is this, 4.0?
Yeah, that's an A.
5.
Yeah. So
A is 4.
Yeah. If you're all A's, if all of you are 1, then you need to translate that to a number that's 3 point something.
Yeah.
So so I would say if you only have if you have all the courses and you only have 2 B's, for example, everything is A, I might put 3.8 on that, just take away 2, 3.8, if I have five different B's, I might put 3.5, so it's between 3 and 4. 4 is perfect. 4 is a 1. And so that's kind of how you go by. You just have, they won't be able to see that in paperwork, but you have to translate it yourself. Okay.
Okay.
You have mostly a bunch of 2s. then your need to be under like either 3 or 2.8 or something like that. But a lot of times, most people, especially when you get your master's, we don't hardly get any B's. It's usually A's. So it's usually 3.8, 3.7, like that. I have a
Okay,
3.9
Doc.
something because I only had like one B, my first B ever
Okay.
in life. And I lived. Yeah.
Okay, Doc.
So yeah, so
Okay.
that's what you can do. And I think it's just more of a number thing. They don't really go and check it out or whatever, but I will explain also to them on Tuesday that this is the difference too in our system here, that one is actually, like an A. So
Okay,
they
Doc.
don't know that part. They don't know that part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Doc. Thank
Yeah.
you, Doc.
Yeah, good question. Good question. So I'm so glad that you're filling that out, Giselle. So I'm gonna try to, you will be very close to Abby and Leslie here if you get hired. So yeah, you will be able to visit each other on Saturdays because it's only an hour away. You'll go to the market together. So you all, I want to encourage you all to apply West Memphis School District. There is, if you scroll up on the chat, it's there, or you can just Google it, West Memphis School District, and go under their employment opportunities for HR, human resources, and any school that's kind of the same situation there. You go to the website, you look for their HR, human resources, and then, or it's under employment, or career. That's some of the website would call it career, or join us, they would have a join us button. But anyway, okay, well, Australia, do you have any question, Australia, for me or Maverick?
No, no, Doc, but I am thankful that even though I am late, I appreciate the gallery walk.
You like the gallery walk idea? You think you're gonna use it?
We've been using that, Doc, in our
you've been
class.
using that. Okay. How do you use yours? How do you, because everybody does it differently, by the way. So how do you use it in your classroom?
We put the activities after the activities done by the pupils are posted on the walls. Then the children will go to that area and learn from that activity.
Okay. And you can add a layer to that if you give them like index card or just little pieces of paper. I usually recycle in my classroom. So any papers that need to be recycled, I cut them in fours, give them those paper, and they can put comments. For example, for group 1 and in Camel to group 1, and group 1 would love it because they would be a basket or a little place there where you put all the comments. And then when you get done, you give the comments to each group and they would see the feedback from everyone. And I tell students, be honest. I want you to be doing a sandwich method. You have to say something positive. So a glow, a grow, and then a glow. So then they know what to improve, but then you need to praise them twice, And so they would have that, or sometimes a whole group would just come up with the 3 things. They do that, but the feedback is important, not just on the verbal part, but also in the written part. And it's like a present to them. I used to do that. I mean, I did that a lot when they present, for example, when they have their book report, and I want it to be creative, right? So they have to do a PowerPoint and put star on that. You put a trailer if it's a movie, things like that. And when they present, everybody has to listen because they have a piece of paper. Well, they have to write down their sandwich, the glow, grow, and glow to each person that present. They have to put the name of that presenter. And then I pick it up and then I just put in my desk, and then I just put a pile there on my desk, right, with their names. And then when they get done, then I give it to everybody. So they get to see, their feedback. If you give it to them already, they're going to ignore the next presenter. So don't do that. Give it after everybody had presented for that day. For example, there are 4 or 5 people that were presenting. Then I give it to all 5 at the same time. And then I would, kind of debrief, kind of, well, were they looking at that? I want the others to like share verbally their comments or whatever. And so anyway, but it's like a present. I'm telling you, one time I did it where I would actually put it in a more of a, like a paper, and I roll it, and then I put a bow on it, like Christmas bow, because it was around Christmas time. And it's like a present. They opened it with all these comments from the classmates about their presentation. But that's a good thing because they that you are building their listening skill. At the same time, you're asking them to validate each other, to praise each other, and to give feedback on how to improve it. You know, a lot of times to improve it is like, you know, you may want to increase your volume because I could not hear very well. So next time you may want to increase your you know, your voice should be louder a little bit. And you know, you have to say it in a kind way. And then of course, I love the things in the glow would be, oh, I love the way that you did this. Oh, I love your visual. Oh my gosh, your PowerPoint is amazing. You know, things like that. I would encourage them because I would model that too. I would actually praise them verbally and show the students on how to do it, but I did it first. I modeled it, and this is how I would do it. Notice how kind I did. Notice I did not, like, you know, insulted them. You do not want to insult your classmates. I don't want to insult you. So this is how you do it. And so, yeah. So once you do something like that, your classroom would be much more engaged, and they're not going to be bored in your classroom because there's no telling what you're going to do next. So just come up with some creative ways to engage your students, and then you got it. Okay. Giselle, thanks again for being so regular. And I don't know if Joanne is still here, but she's also another regular. I hope the other Faye, you have been also attending a lot. Thank you. Duan, hope to see you again. Cherry too. Maverick,
Thank you
we
so
did not
much,
talk today.
Doc.
Maverick, did you want to say hi to everybody real quick before we leave? Maverick, I have filled at least 2 or 3 different surveys about you.
Sir, can you
Recommendation.
Everyone, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, you have any question or comments or feedback?
No, thank you, ma'am, for all your help. We learned a lot, and we thank you for giving us advices and all the learnings that we get every 2 weeks. These are really helpful. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. It's a compliment to me that you came back. That means that I did not bore you to death that much. So anyway, my husband was like, you know, wrap it up because it's been 2.5 hours. Usually I try to stay with 2 hours, but it's now 2.5 hours. So that means I really enjoyed talking to you guys. So
And also, ma'am,
yeah.
Also, ma'am, I just want to say that my pastime now is watching all the videos of your previous Zoom meetings.
That's funny.
I
Thank
love
you.
those videos.
Well, they're so long. They're so long. That's why I want to go make some shorts out of it. But do please subscribe and also like and please put my link to your Facebook. That way I'll get more subscribers, because the more subscribers you have, the better. In my the Facebook group under educators supporting each other, I have 3.6K now, and my goal is 5. So I'm gaining some every day. But the Facebook YouTube only needs 1K, and I only have 101. So I need like 899 still. So I need all your help to get that. You know, tell them if you want to know about Arkansas and living in America, you need to see this one. Or if they're teachers, oh my God, it's loaded with things about teaching, as others could say. I'm sure Giselle have seen a bunch of them because I always see her liking it. Okay, so there's a lot of chat before I go. Chat, sorry for the attendance. That's okay, Faye. You know, you just got the invitation. I got you. Okay. Subscribed and shared too. Thank you. Mama Dita, thank you for doing that. Yeah, she said she subscribed already. I will get our notification when you have subscribed, so I will know when you subscribe. And it makes my day, makes me happy. So anyway, all right, so I'm gonna have to say bye-bye, and hope to see you again in 2 weeks, November 4th. Okay, and I hope I have permission to post some of your pictures on Facebook, in fact, I'm going to take a picture right now before I say bye. So I would put that on our Facebook group, okay, that you attended. And, I try to get the ones that are talking, especially, but I tried to get everybody if I could. All right. So, Verna, everybody, Dawn, Mediva, Estrella, Giselle, all that, Cherry, Faye, Maverick. See you again in 2 weeks. Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Dog.
ma'am.
Have a
See
great
you.
day and weekend.
See you.
Okay,
Thank you
bye-bye.
so much.
Bye.
You.